Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, Sierra Leone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, Kono District. This is David Bongo, the country owner from Kono News Network. And as always, I want to tell you thank you for listening, for taking the time, for pay attention to me, and for also comment, like, and share. I want to encourage you to continue for like, continue for give comments, and also continue for share my information them. And the way they listen to me for the first time, I also they encourage you now for let una share and una also like and subscribe to the channel because now so we will spread the message to the far end of the corner of every to every part of the country. Sorry about that glitch. So today again, as always, I want to discuss Sierra Leone politics because we see the political climate don't begin to warm now with country and everybody they talk about strategies for win, strategies for become flag bearer, and strategies for capture the people and the electorate their mind and get them vote. I will shape again this broadcast into two sections, and when I talk, the first part I will talk to the international community, and then secondly I will talk to the family, the Saloon family, the nation, the people the way they listen to me, and the one the way they make decision for take part in the coming elections. So good evening, everybody. This is David Bongo coming to you from Kono News Network, and I want to really thank you for taking your time to listen to me, to subscribe, and also to at least provide comments. And more so, I want to thank you very much for sharing my messages. If this is your first time listening to me, I would encourage you to subscribe to this channel and also to like and share. We want to discuss Sierra Leone politics, APC versus SLPP, and the road to 2028. Good evening again, listeners. Let me say that once more and welcome to our national conversation. Today we reflect on a question that is already shaping the political future of our country. What might happen in the 2028 elections in Sierra Leone? And more importantly, what must our political parties do to strengthen national unity and democratic process? For decades, the political landscape of Sierra Leone has already been defined by two dominant parties, the All People's Congress, which is the APC, and the Sierra Leone People's Party, which is the SLPP. These two institutions have alternated in power and shaped the governance, development, and democratic directions of our nation. Historically, elections in Sierra Leone are rarely landslides. They are often competitive, emotional, and extremely close. From the elections of 2007 to 2018, and most recently 2023, we have seen how narrow the margins came. We have seen how narrow the margins can be and how deeply politics can divide communities along regional lines. Traditionally, the nation and parts of the western area, the north actually and parts of the western area, lean towards APC support, while the south and east have largely supported SLPP. This regional alignment has created a political culture where elections sometimes feel like regional contests rather than purely national debates about policy, governance, and development. But as we look towards 2028, the real question is this: can Sierra Leone move beyond regional politics and build a truly national political structure? Also, can Sierra Leone move beyond regional politics and build truly national political culture. Let us examine the strengths and challenges facing both major parties. For the SLPP, being the governing party comes with both opportunity and risk. The advantage of incumbency allows the government to showcase its developmental projects, policies, and national programs. Infrastructural development, economic reforms, and social policies will likely be central to their campaign message. However, incumbency also carries the burden of accountability. Citizens will judge the government based on the cost of living, job creation, economic stability, and the level of transparency in governance. If the public feels that progress has not matched expectations, opposition's voices may grow stronger. Now let us look at APC, the main opposition party. Opposition parties often benefit from public frustration and economic hardship. If the APC can present a compelling alternative version or vision, not just criticism but concrete solutions, they may gain momentum heading into the next election. But the success of any opposition movement depends on unity, discipline, and credible leadership. Internal divisions or unclear policy directions can weaken even the strongest political base. Another factor that will play a decisive role in the 2028 elections is the choice of flag bearer. In Sierra Leone's political system, the personality, credibility, and national appeal of the presidential candidate can significantly influence voter behavior. A candidate who can connect with youth, inspire confidence across regions, and demonstrate integrity could reshape traditional voting patterns. In fact, the future of Sierra Leone's democracy may depend on leaders who can rise above ethnic and regional loyalties and speak to the aspirations of the entire nation. Equally important is voter participation. Sierra Leone has a young population and the youth will continue to be the largest voting bloc in 2028. Their priorities are clear: employment opportunities, education, economic empowerment, and accountable leadership. Political parties that ignore the concerns of young people do so at their own risk. But beyond winning elections, the most critical question is what happens after the votes are counted. Every election must strengthen, not weaken, the unity of Sierra Leone. Political competition should not turn neighbors into enemies or communities into rivals. Whether APC wins, SLPP wins, or the race goes into another tight contest, the responsibility lies with leaders on both sides to ensure peace, acceptance of results, and national reconciliation. Our democracy will only mature when political parties place country above party and national unity above political rivalry. As citizens, we must also demand better. Elections should not only be about party colors or political slogans. They must be about policies, leadership, accountability, and the future we want for our children. The road to 2028 already begun. The decisions made today by political leaders, institutions, and citizens will determine whether that journey strengthens our democracy or deepens our divisions. Okay, Sierra Leone has overcome civil war, hardship, and political tensions before. Our strength as a nation lies in our resilience and our shared hope for progress. Let the politics of tomorrow be guided by unity, responsibility, and vision, because in the end, Sierra Leone belongs to all of us. This is my opening statement. I'm coming to the detail of the information that I have for this particular broadcast, and I will actually ask your indulgence to sit and listen to me as I discuss in detail what I have for you. Um, okay, so in the first place, I want us to look at historical voting patterns and win ratio. Sierra Leone politics has largely been dominated by two parties: the All People's Congress (APC) and the Sierra Leone People's Party (SLPP). The key electoral trends are these. In 2007, APC won and ended SLPP rule. In 2012, APC re-elected with a strong majority. 2018, SLPP returned to power after a close runoff. And 2023, SLPP retained presidency and parliamentary majority. Example of tight competition. In the 2018 runoff, SLPP won 51.8% versus APC 48.2%, a margin of about 92,000 votes. What's the implication of that? Sierra Leone elections are often extremely very close, making 2028 highly unpredictable. Next, let's look at the structural voting dynamics in Sierra Leone. Regional political alignment. Historically, voting patterns follow regional lines. North and Western area, strong APC support. South and East, strong SLPP support. Studies show that about 80% of APC votes come from the North and Western area. Also, around 76% of SLPP votes come from the South and East. This pattern shapes campaign strategies. We look at the factors that could favor SLPP in 2028. Incumbency advantage. The incumbency advantage is really very important. Control of government machinery, ability to implement projects before election, and then influence over developmental initiatives. Those are the advantages that the incumbency will have. Parliamentary dominance. SLPP holds majority seats in parliament after the 2023 elections. Expanded support areas will also play a role. Recent elections show SLPP gaining grounds in some traditional APC regions such as Cambia, Falaba, Koinadugu, and parts of the western area. So, government narratives. Campaign messages may focus on these: stability, infrastructure development, and social programs. Factors that will work against SLPP. Economic pressure is very prominent in these factors. If citizens feel hardship from inflation, youth unemployment, and cost of living, these can weaken the incumbents. Governance criticism. Opposition arguments may focus on transparency, corruption, public service delivery. So the electoral credibility debate will also arise. Disputes surrounding the 2023 elections could influence voter turnout or trust and turnout. Now, the fifth factor is this: factors that could favor APC in 2028. Having looked at the factors that will favor SLPP, now we're looking at the factors that will favor APC in 2028. Opposition advantage. Opposition parties often benefit from the following: protest votes, economic dissatisfaction. Urban support. APC continues to perform strongly in Western area, Freetown mayoral politics. Most of the time in the past, I would say in the past 2 or 3 elections, the APC has provided mayor for Freetown. So mobilization of northern base also. If APC maximizes turnout in Bombali, Port Loko, Tonkolili, and Karine, they can offset southern SLPP dominance. So factors that could work against APC: internal party unity, factional disputes or leadership struggles can weaken campaigns, need for new policy narratives. If APC campaigns only on criticism of government without clear policy alternatives, voter enthusiasm may weaken. Youth expectation. Young voters may demand innovation, anti-corruption reforms, and economic opportunities. My seventh point here is this: which party's message promotes national unity? This depends less on party history and more on campaign tones. We've seen in the recent past messages that were coming from flag bearers. Some of these messages were really against specific regions, and it discouraged voters in those regions from voting for those political parties. For example, Samura Kamara, his message in Kono district, comparing Kono to Bonkalenke, and then also making statements like Babuya, all these things went down too deep into the hearts of some voters in Kono district. I'm not saying those were the factors that made them lose, but they could play a major role. So SLPP unity messaging, often framed around national development, stability, post-war democratic consolidation. APC unity messaging, often framed around national inclusion, ending regional divisions, and economic revival. But this is the reality. Sierra Leone politics still struggles with regional polarization. So whichever party successfully transcends regional voting patterns will likely win the election in 2028. So the impact of flag bearer selection also will play a major role in both political parties. Flag bearer choice can dramatically influence elections. The important factors to look for are these: national appeal beyond ethnic strongholds, credibility and competence, youth appeal, integrity reputation. A candidate who can win swing districts like Kono or Western area could decide the election. Voter participation factors. Turnout may depend on the following: trust in the electoral process, economic frustrations, youth engagement, diaspora influence, and security environment. High turnout usually benefits parties with strong grassroots networks. Excuse me. My 10th point is this: possible 2028 election scenarios. Scenario 1: SLPP retains power. Conditions for this will be economic stability, unified party, credible successor candidate. Scenario 2, APC comeback. Conditions for this will depend on this. Strong coalition building, reform message, effective mobilization in Western area and swing districts. Scenario 3, close runoff election. Given history, Sierra Leone could again see razor-thin margins, coalition politics, and post-election negotiations. This brings us to my point number 11, post-election national dynamics. Key issues after the elections may include the following: acceptance of results, political reconciliation, electoral reforms, and strengthening democratic institutions. Political maturity from both parties will be essential to maintain stability. In closing, I have this message. Sierra Leone's democracy remains vibrant but competitive. The 2028 elections will not simply be a contest between two parties. It will be a test of leadership, national unity, economic directions, and the maturity of our democratic culture. And if that is so, I want to say a very short message to my people again. Family, una good evening. Mina David Gongbo, I the canto owner from KNN News Network, and this message also get to do with salon politics. I just don't discuss the chance where APC get for win the 2028 elections and the chance where SLPP get for win the 2028 elections. But inside there, I look at history from records the way we don't get. The key history the way I don't look at now the following. In 2007, na APC been win election. 2012, APC come back to power. 2018, SLPP returned to power. And 2023, SLPP being continue for be in power. And then TND, during that particular 2018 election, the election been too tight. SLPP been get 51.8% and APC been get 48.2%. And the margin, the difference will be make SLPP win at 92,000 people there. But what thing I want to say this net, 9 days. Whichever party win election at Sierra Leone, it therefore depend on credibility of the electoral process, credibility of the flag bearer the way we choose for either party, or the credibility of the party, the accountability, the democratic principles, the internal fighting, internal unity, and a lot of other factors. So Sierra Leoneans, then let we continue for play decent politics. When 2028 come, the road for that 2028 is still long. We know say yes, enough, now about 2 years, but that is really very long. A lot can make good, a lot can make bad within this short time. Let we learn for play decent politics. Let we stop for the address people them personalities. Let we address issues the way they bring we country go before. If any political party focus just for criticize, and then let they bring their own flagship program to the people them, let them prove to the people then say na development then they look for, they go try for let that party they win election. So let we stop the criticism. Let we show what we can do for Sierra Leone. Let we show how we go able to unite the country. This regional politics will they play and not they help with country. Because na turn that name boku inside with politics. Where party A come, a turn debt to party B. Where party B come sef turn debt to party A. And that's now we go dey and push and pull. We no dey copy the international first world countries dem. We always dey reinvent the wheel. So we dey take 10 steps forward, we take 12 steps backward. So we always dey come back beyond the starting point, and that is very difficult for development. So my message tonight na for preach a word of unity to Sierra Leoneans, una wey dey na the diaspora and una wey dey back home na Sierra Leone. Let we understand say regional politics no dey pay. Loyalty to political parties no dey pay. When we love we country and we put we country interest first, that go help we country for develop. Personally, I want to say this regarding the proportional representation. Proportional representation dey take power na the electorate dem hand. I know say the government go likely get their own good intention, but let we ask Sierra Leoneans dem, let we not just force the proportional representation at people dem throat. Let we ask Sierra Leoneans dem, if na referendum sef, let we do am. If they actually want proportional representation, or vote for the person wey you want and vote against the person wey you no want. Because some politicians dem dey na Sierra Leone wey dem don gain opportunity inside this proportional representation, dem no dey master dem constituencies, dem no dey connect with the constituent people dem, for even hold town hall meeting, for lis ten to wetin na the people dem cry, e no dey happen. If I no dey talk true concerning this particular issue here so, let we see how many of the politicians dem hold town hall meetings, go to the grassroots and lis ten to dem problems and bring dem problems and then at the parliament, at the well of parliament. If dem dey, a very few. So let we try for lis ten to the country, let we try for lis ten to the electorate, the one wey dey feel the pinch, not to just for go select somebody wey the people dem no want, but the party want am. That not fair, e not fair. So let we rethink this proportional representation. As dem dey do constitutional review, let we also rethink proportional representation. This is nothing against SLPP or APC. Na my own personal view I dey talk. How I see am, na so I dey see am. Because I don see from experience with politicians dem completely cut off. In most cases, some politicians dem no dey even work with the paramount chief dem. I think say if that is not true, somebody prove me wrong. Politicians dem dey go na parliament, dem no dey get one day, you know, dey see dem dey get that traditional leaders dem no dey get meeting with politicians dem. Let dem share common ideas and see wetin dem all go able decide as a district. For kill dem problem go dem go na parliament. So the traditional leaders dem dey na their own camp, the politicians dem dey na their own camp. And so in some cases, dem no dey see, and this with traditional leaders na people dem wey no dey identify with any political parties. Even though themselves na human beings dem go likely get party wey dem dey support, but by right, dem no dey identify with any political party. Politicians dem dey identify with political parties, but with traditional leaders are not. So they need to be consulted when politicians dem dey go na parliament. They need for sit down and talk with the paramount chief dem, because even though paramount chief dem get representation na parliament, but they no get much voice. And the lawmakers dem get the voice. So it go good for let we reconsider this proportional representation. Because if we force proportional representation na people dem throat, dem no go able choose the people dem wey dem want. Na political party go choose the people dem wey the political party want. And if na so it dey be, then people dem go just become more loyal to dem political party than to the district or people dem wey dem dey represent. So we as Sierra Leoneans, let we think about this and see how we go move the country go forward. I want to tell una thank you. I want for let una share this message. You wey dey lis ten to me for the first time, I go encourage you for let you subscribe and una click the notification bell so that whenever I come on, una go get a message. Again, me na David Bongo. I want to tell una all thank you. Una good night again. Una waiting na net. Una good morning. Una waiting na the morning time. And una good evening. Una waiting towards the evening.